Hi, Nana Hannah here. Instagram handle is NanaHannah70, NanaHannah70. And I'm Hannah Fincham on Facebook, HANNAH. Finch like the bird and AM like the morning, Fincham. Just wanted to let you know that I'm continuing my weight loss journey. I haven't stopped, but I am trying to lose 100 pounds, basically. I have done so much already since August 1st. I've lost 21 pounds. It's sort of sitting there, but I'm not worried. My first focus was getting healthy and eating right, eating good things and putting them in my body and eliminating things that were going to hurt me. I'm not going to say good and bad, but healthy things versus things that were unhealthy. I was a sugar addict, and I decided to join the Whole30. One day, I had hit rock bottom as far as my health. I have type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, I'm obese, asthma, sleep apnea, depression, anxiety. Those were really big ones. A major depressive disorder. Just have a lot of things going on. It was right at the end of July, and I was crying. Felt like I was alone and in despair. My husband came home from work, and I said, I've got to make a change with my eating habits, with my diet. I can't do it alone, and I can't try to make healthy meals for me and other foods that you want to eat for you and my son. And I said, will you join me and do the Whole30? The reason we chose the Whole30 was because it's not about weight loss. It's about what you eat. It's about your relationship with food. It helped us realize that we don't need to taste sweetness or have sugar in our diet. And there's so many things with processed food, breads, all the things you can get at the store that have hidden sugars. Also, they have a lot of additives and preservatives. And we realized that we could eat without that. It's mostly fresh food, vegetables, meat, and, eggs, proteins, some fruits. For me, since I'm a diabetic, I really laid off the fruits. But there's no restrictions on the Whole30 diet as far as eating foods, natural foods. You don't have a restriction on it. We don't worry about calories. You just eat until you're satisfied and eat again when you're hungry. And that was the way we lived. Right before we decided to do it, I got rid of everything that was not allowed on the Whole30. I threw out everything in my cabinet. Grocery shopping is really hard because you have to look at every label before you can buy it. And it's very strict. No soy, no dairy, no grains, no beans, except for green beans and peas. And it's a hard thing to do. But it was one of the best things that we ever did, because I had a lot of what they call non-scale victories. My blood sugar is under control. It's completely normal. My blood pressure is completely normal. I'm actually sleeping in a bed for the first time in years because of my sleep apnea. I couldn't lay down, or I'd get heartburn. I was always unable to sleep in a bed. I slept in a recliner. Still struggled with heartburn, indigestion, sleep apnea, getting no rest. And I am up early this morning, but that's just my choice. It's not that I'm not getting good sleep at night. I have had a cold, so headache keeps me up more than anything. But back to the subject. We did Whole30 for a month. I lost 21 pounds. My husband lost over 25 pounds. It just affected him, but he drinks soda all the time. All we really drink is water, tea, and black coffee. And that's what we live on. And it's great. There's no problems with it. And we're not really denying ourselves because we eat foods that are delicious. And even my son came home and he wanted to be home every night for dinner because he said, I didn't know eating healthy could taste so good. And I said, yeah, I do have to cook every night. The best thing I ever got was an Instant Pot. Best investment ever because you can make meals quickly and you can make a lot of food. You can cook a lot of meats in a day. And I would freeze the meals and have them for later. So I wasn't cooking all the time. Part of the problem before was that we would eat fast food because I couldn't cook. I just was too sluggish to cook. Now I have the energy to do it. I'm not working right now. I do babysit my grandson, but I'm really trying to get a job. And so I can bring in some money, contribute to the income of the house. But for right now, I'm focusing on me. I'm focusing on my weight loss. I'm focusing on my health. I'm focusing on loving myself. That's something I've never done. I'm making sure that I'm in control of my life. And that's something that I've never really done. So I am inviting you to join me on Instagram, Facebook. On Instagram, I'm NanaHannah70. And on Facebook, I'm Hannah Fincham. Finch like the bird, AM like the morning. I have some other pages out there. I used to be an Uber Lyft driver. I'm not doing that anymore because the risks, I believe, are just too great. Even though we wear masks, we sanitize our cars, I just don't want anybody in my vehicle at this time in America, in our lives. And that's because I got really sick the first few months of 2020. And I didn't have COVID, but I had another virus. I had RSV. And it really knocked me down, people. I was so sick for months. Ended up in the hospital twice. And when they finally found out what it was, I was able to get better. But I had pneumonia for months. I was just getting sicker and sicker. I felt like I was dying. So I am better now, but I don't want to take the risk of getting something or contract something from somebody that's in my car that I don't know. I don't know where they've been. I don't know if they've been ill. I just don't want to take that risk anymore. So I'm not driving for Uber or Lyft. I was for a while doing DoorDash, and that's because I needed some money, and it was fun. But in the summer months, it was so hot, and having to wear a mask really was difficult. I was sweating. I was out of breath. I'd have to take my inhaler. It was just really hard work for not a lot of money when you think about it. Now, I was making really good tips. Thank you to all the people out there who tip your delivery people because they need it. They're working hard for you. They're going to the stores. They're picking up your items, groceries, or getting your food. They're making sure it stays warm. They're finding your address. They're getting it to your door. They are working hard. And some people say, well, how much should I tip those people? I would tip them like you would a waiter or a waitress or the pizza delivery guy. And they don't make very much money. We make a base pay of $3, sometimes a little more, but it just depends on what we're getting out there. So please tip well for your food deliveries, the people who bring your groceries. They deserve it. I mean, if they don't do a good job, if they mess up your food, or, they spill your groceries or don't put them where you want them, that's a different story. But if they did what you expected, please tip them. It's off the subject, but I just really had to say that. So anyway, I am working on myself. And the reason I'm putting this out there is because you may be trying to work on yourself too. And I don't want you to be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't feel like you're not enough. You can get out there and do it. Do what you can. Find a program that's going to work for you. I found an exercise program, and I found the Whole30 to get started. My first thing was get healthy. Now I'm focusing on weight loss. I've gone mostly keto. I think I'm what you would call on a keto diet. Eat mostly protein and high fats, like avocados and things like that. Some cheeses, those kind of foods. And I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying eating this way. And I'm feeling good about myself. Also, I've got enough of all my diabetes medicine. I'm getting ready to get off one of my blood pressure medicines because now my blood pressure is low. And also, I was able to end 5-year stint with a psych medicine, a depression medicine called Effexor. And it really, I don't have proof, but I know it's a side effect that it messes with your memory. And I really was struggling with my short-term memory. And I've already seen a difference since I've been off the medicine. I'm also working on getting off a couple others. And just being healthy and not relying on meds and not having to pay for them every month is really something to be proud of. So if you're sitting there and you're feeling lousy, you don't have any energy, look up, research something that's going to work for you. I highly recommend the Whole30 because it really gets you on the right path of knowing how food affects you. Because when you get off of the Whole30 for a month and you try to introduce some foods, and you do it slowly, but you can tell right away. I had bread after the Whole30, and it just affected me so horrible. And I felt sick. I used to sneeze all the time. I started sneezing again as soon as I started eating bread. And I hadn't done that in a long time. I hadn't sneezed at all. During the month, we didn't have any wheat or flour or grains. So we did realize I'm allergic to that. Also, sugar is my enemy. If I start to eat sugar, it makes me sick. My blood sugar goes through the roof. It's not something I need in my life anymore. So find something that works for you. Work on getting healthy first. Focus on getting healthy. If you're eating healthy foods, the weight loss is just going to happen. It just happens without even trying for that. I focused on non-scale victories, and that is the focus of the Whole30. Then, after my month, I started reintroducing foods, and I decided that the keto diet was going to be the best for me. So look those things up. Do a lot of research. Do a lot of Googling. Watch my videos.